So let's pick up another theme that comes up in a variety of ways. It's Isaiah will use the word old and he'll use the word new. So you get, for instance, the old Jerusalem, and then there's going to be a new Jerusalem. As we get ready to wind up these last few chapters of Isaiah, watch for this theme to play out not just with the city of Jerusalem, but with your life, with the covenants that God has made, and with the promises. So notice as we jump into chapter 62, in verse 2, it says, "And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name." We're not going to create the name. It's not worldly invented. It's a name that Christ is going to give us. Isn't it fascinating that King Benjamin calls his people together? And one of the reasons he called them together is he tells them, "I called you here because I wanted to give you a name, a new name whereby you can be made known." And through the course of his speech, we realize that the name that they're taking upon them is the name of Christ. And it's powerful for us who were all born into this world. We were all given a name by our parents, but Christ is saying, "I want you to be born again. I want you to experience a spiritual rebirth. And when you do, I'm going to be the father of that spiritual rebirth. And I'm going to give you a new name." And you see that coming through here. Look at verse 3. "Along with the name, thou shalt also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God." You're going to be these crown jewels of God. You're precious. As Lori was saying before, you're not worthless. You're not nothing. You're extremely valuable and precious to the Lord. And then look at verse 6. "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence." I love verse 6 because that is the role of prophets, leaders, parents, true friends today. The ultimate example of this being watchmen upon the walls or watchmen upon the towers are usually referring to those prophets, seers, and revelators. Thank heaven that we have prophets, seers, and revelators today, and that the Lord is speaking to them. And it's not their job to stand up on those towers and tell everybody, "Hey, keep up the good work. Don't change anything. You're doing great. Just status quo." That isn't what prophets have ever done in the history. They stand up on towers, they see from an elevated perspective, and they lift up their voice. They don't hold their peace, and they bear testimony of the Lord. And verse 7 says, "Give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise for the earth." There are things that we need to change in order to come into line with what God would have us do. So we thank thee, O God, for a prophet to guide us in these latter days.